If you want to learn how to get fucking huge for the winter, stay tuned. I'm going to put y'all on game. What's up, guys? Joe here, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about bulking. Now, we're about to enter the fall and winter season, so everybody's pretty much considering going on a fucking bulk. Figured it'd be like a perfect time to kind of drop an updated bulking video. Now, if you don't know what bulking is, there are typically like a few ways we can go about dieting for the gym, right? If we're trying to define or lose or cut down, we'll do is what is called a cut, and we kind of cut calories out of our diet so we can lose fat over time. The opposite end of this, what we're going to be talking about today, is bulking. We're actually going to be adding calories to our diet to gain weight in the form of muscle, but of course we're going to have some fat gain as well. And the whole point is, like I said, to get bigger, stronger, to even out weaknesses, and just overall become a more advanced lifter. That being said, bulking is generally considered the best way to gain size and muscle the absolute fastest. First things first, as for how to bulk, we're going to need to know our maintenance calories. So what you can do is you can go to caloriecalculator.net, type in all of your physical stats like your age, weight, height, how often you work out, and it'll give you a rough estimate of what your maintenance calories are. Now, whatever your maintenance calories are, you will need to eat 300 to 500 over this in order to be in a caloric surplus and gain weight. Typically what people do is they'll do a 300 to 500 caloric surplus and add a few hundred calories every few months. So the way that you're gaining, you're going to have a new higher maintenance calories every few months with consistent bulking. So that's typically how people bulk. But the way I like to bulk, probably do a 200 to 300 surplus for like the first month or two. And what this is going to look like for me, right, is I'll probably go up 5 to 10 pounds. So whereas I try to hang around low 180s right now, I'll probably go up to like 190, 192. Then I will stay at that 190, 192, maintain that weight for the entirety of the year. At that point, I'm not continuously adding calories and calories, so it's just an excess of fat. I'm at a heavy enough weight to where, one, extra weight that I have on my frame, giving me more cushioning and supporting me on my lifts, making it a lot easier to push heavier weight, right? And this is the main driver of muscle growth, progressive overload. So having more weight on your frame is just going to make it easier. But additionally, a byproduct of bulking is that you're naturally going to have a lot more calories and carbohydrates to play with. As a result, you're going to be able to use these added calories and carbohydrates to fuel your workouts. So when it comes down to it, bulking has a bunch of benefits. I do it my way just to limit the fat gain, and I found that to be the most effective for me. But if you want to keep upping the calories 100 every month, by all means go for it. As how to make the most of your bulk, right? What you are going to want to do is train in the 4 to 8 rep range and prioritize getting as strong as possible. The point of a bulk is to build as muscle as possible. So if we're not getting as strong as possible on a bulk via progressive overload, and we're just adding more calories, we're not really doing a whole lot for our bodies. So the way you're going to do this, like I said, you're going to have a few compound lifts, a bunch of accessory lifts, train in the 4 to 8 rep range, trying to progress it. Start at something you can do for 4 reps, continue to progress it until you can do it for 8, then increase the weight until you can only do it for 4 again. And you're going to keep doing this throughout the bulk at that same weight that I told you, and you will undoubtedly get a whole lot stronger. You want to be tracking your lifts. So let's say you hit 135 for 7 on bench press on your first workout of the bulk. That next workout of the bulk, you need to write down 135 for 8 so you know what to hit. Tracking is another thing that's just going to help you progress a lot more and a lot faster. The whole entire point of a bulk is to maximize how much muscle and strength you're putting on. So we want to be using a bunch of extra things and extra tips and tricks as well, right? And something that I would also do is to set PRs for yourself for the end of your bulk. So let's say you can currently do 225 for 3 at the beginning of your bulk. At the end of your bulk, we need to aim for 225 for 10 or 225 for 8. Something like that, just to keep us going forward. Because like I said, if you're just on a bulk where you're adding calories and you're not taking advantage of the fact that you can be getting stronger and progressive overload, most of what you're going to be getting from the bulk is going to be fat. That's why I'm very adamant about tracking and really locking in on getting stronger on your bulk. As I mentioned before, you're going to have a lot more calories and carbohydrates to play with on your bulk. So it's good to know where you should kind of dictate some. Now, honestly, it really doesn't matter an insane lot when you eat your carbs. I mean, that's what the science says. The science says it doesn't really matter too much. But if you're really trying to, like I said, maximize the bulk, get as strong and as big as possible, what you want to do is your biggest carbohydrate meal should be one before your workout. It should not be after your workout. Not because, oh, if you eat after 6, you're gonna get fat. No, like I said, if you can put this towards your workout and you can have something else that's only gonna help you getting stronger on the bulk is only going to be even more effective. So my best advice, like I said, is to have your biggest loaded carbohydrate meal, the meal right before your workout, or the second to first meal before your workout. This is just going to help you perform a lot smoother, have a lot more energy, and once again, you're going to be able to progressive overload a lot easier. Now, something that you can also do, if you're the type of person who is doing the continuous bulking where you're adding calories every month, which nothing wrong with, like I said, I just prefer my way. I do recommend going on a mini cut maybe every 2 months while you're doing this. Simply because, like I said, the fat gain is going to be hefty with that continued extended bulking. So to keep it tame, a mini cut in between is good. And what a mini cut is where you just cut for maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks, cut like 100 to 200 calories out of your diet, and you go down like a percent or 2 on body fat. It's like getting a trim up on your haircut every few months. We don't cut down more than we have grown, but we want to cut off the loose ends. And there you have it, how to bulk for the summer. Like I said, my preferred way is 10 pounds heavier than what you usually are. Maintain that, get strong as fuck via tracking progressive overload. Use the carbs and calories to help your progressive overload. Set PRs, and you will absolutely get a whole lot bigger. One more thing that I'd recommend doing is to kind of assess your weak points, and whatever your weak points are on your physique or the way you perform in the gym, make those a priority on your bulk as well. That being said, I put you guys onto the sauce on how to get big as fuck this winter. I want to see you all huge. Let me know what videos you guys want to see next. Check the description for the science-based lifting guide, and I'm out.